our conversation at the moment is whether, even in this condition, we can just do weighing of the cargo here, transit cargo, and weigh it at the end. If it's Malaba, at Malaba. If it is Namanga, Namanga. If it is, yeah. If it's also South Sudan there, or whatever, Busia, border, or whichever one. We want to make sure that that is facilitated. Then we can deal with this problem of axle load. This is a problem that is existing at the moment, and the plan is to make sure that we only weigh transit goods as they exit the port, and we weigh them as they exit the country, whichever port where they are going to exit from. So we will need a proper identification system to be put in place, and a system that can be tracked, so that we reduce the need for transit goods being weighed on the way. Perhaps the other goods, if they divert from the northern corridor, for example, to the other roads, we will then know whether we need to weigh them or not, but we want to reduce. The plan, however, is that if we dual the road, as we've said, we get the investors and dual the road, that will be done. You are weighed here, you are monitored through, you have virtual weighing weigh bridges on the way, and you will no longer need to stop anywhere to be weighed, because then, unless you have exited the way, you can actually be weighed virtually. We have assurance that working with the Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Interior, we will secure all our roads and all our facilities. You need to know why these criminal elements are targeting the roads. There is a massive infrastructure development going on in northern part of the country, the northeastern part of the country. And it's really massive, huge, very important roads. Those criminals are targeting because once these roads are tarmacked, they cannot plant aahidis below a tarmac road. So they know that their business is going to come to an end soon once we complete the tarmacking of those roads. So that's why they are frustrating road. People must ask themselves, why are they targeting road contractors and roads? It's because these roads are going to be a solution to this insecurity, and people will be able to pass without planting aahidis on the roads. So we cannot then continue having Maram Road being a highway and to secure and assure investors that they can pass through it. So we are tarmacking the road. We will have that conversation concluded soon. The peers here and the team are working on it. We will tarmac Lamu to Ijara, which is gets the other tarmac road to from now Garissa to Isiolo, which is ongoing, and it's a tarmac road. And then from Isiolo, it goes to Moyale. Later, we will look for ways of going through the valley to Lokichar. But the route that's going to Moyale will be complete. Now, the plan is to have an ICD in Moyale, so that when the goods are cleared from here, they can have a clearance place at Moyale, and that's how Moyale town is going to grow to become what it ought to be. But of course, still it's not a good thing to have a congestion there. We agreed that on our side to deal with the congestion in the immediate sense. There were small problems there that is really an embarrassment to the country. For example, KRA just having one scanner, running 24-hour, every day, continuously. It clears in every 2-3 seconds, but it's a machine. If it overheats, even for 1 hour, because it clears a lorry in 3 or 10 seconds. If it overheats for even 1 minute and you restart the system, you already create traffic. So we've discussed already a backup machine and a backup for power for the clearance. But on our part as a ministry, we also promised that we dual 20 kilometers to start with, to make sure that we dual that area so that it can open up the place. You'll be pleased to know also that we are in advanced stage with development partners to dual the road from Kisumu to Busia, not just at the border itself, but Kisumu to Busia. And as I said earlier, if we get this strategic investor, we could possibly also dual from Eldoret to Malaba, Nairobi, Eldoret, Malaba. So as we work on also the Kisumu part, this way we will reduce the congestion. But in immediate sense, we are working on this systems and technology and the scanners at the border. December the contractor will be on site to do speed cameras from here to Malaba and many other highways. You must have seen the test cameras already in Wayaki Way and Thika Road and Southern Bypass. We have seen, if you give me your number, I can give to the NTSA to lock in your details, and if you drive past their cameras speed, they will send you a message. That's the testing we've done. Send you a message directly, say you are over speeding this much, this is the amount of money you will pay, and so forth. So we finished the testing level. The contractor in less than 2-3 months will be on site to start putting the cameras. Meanwhile, we are finishing the legal framework. We'll send it to yourselves so that you can put for us the legal framework for instant fining and digital evidence for purpose of dealing with offenses. Doing everything to ensure that this infrastructure is developed to make sure that lounges, better businesses, good hotels, a mall, something that can make people we utilize the services. Once we dual the road anyway, if we will succeed to dual the road from here to Malaba, it will be mandatory pay a toll fee. But that toll fee is nothing compared to the benefit that comes, because that car will not stop anymore.
Number two is there any integrated plan within government, not just your ministry, but your ministry, trade and industry, to create what Honorable Naomi calls a hub in other Busia? Is that the port is doing its best to reduce barriers. But at some point in time, you have Kenha, you give yourself 1 hour as the time that you have to finish these processes. You find that the port is lost. What are you doing as the ministry concerned to ensure that any gains that are being made at the port?
Things that are so factual in this country, and you can be sure it is affecting all of us.
So what is your take on that? Otherwise, we should the best.
Mimi ndio je, niko hapa.